Hello guys, Jerry speaking. Welcome to Bedtime Stories, episode number 309. And today, since I have nothing else to read, I decided to read Madeline today. This is the original copy written by Ludwig. I can't pronounce his last name, so let's just read it down, shall we? So we got for us. This is a 56 long page book. Here we go. Let's ball for 1 hour. Here we go. Madeline. This is written by Ludwig Bowen. Again, do not know his last name. Sorry. Anyway, place. I can't pronounce these things in French. Sorry, but that's just me, of course. But anyway. This is a 1939 movie, and this is all this is just pronouncing things in French. I do not need the French copy. Hang on. Give me a moment. Let's see, what am I doing? Let's take off the rest and just do something else. Did I read the book? Oh yeah. We're gonna read this book and oh yeah. Return it now. I don't want to do that because it's too much in French. I don't read French books. Sorry. French books everywhere. So if it maybe English copy will help us, that'll be good. If there's an English copy, that'd be great. If not, then I'm not gonna read it. I'm not gonna read it. So there you go. Anyway, let's try this again. Hopefully this time it's gonna be a good one. Madeline, written by Ludwig Madeline. Now, this is good. This has to be good. Anyway, I need to free this up. This is ridiculous. Anyway, oh, this is good. I'm praying to God this will be good. Lazy again. This is hard to pronounce. Sorry, Madeline. Story and pictures by. This is much better by Ludwig Bellmans. Okay, Bellmans. Okay, published by Vikings. Good enough. Okay. This is much better. I didn't know how people translate it to French or something, and it's printed in Hong Kong. So there you go. This is the English version, but I don't read in French because I wanted to make it translate to English. So there you go. Anyway, let's move on. In an old house in Paris, there was a cover with vines. Okay, makes more sense about vine there in that world. But anyway, next page. Anyway, with 12 little girls in 2 straight lines. You know, drawing and animation like difference. You know. In 2 straight lines, they broke their bread. You know, kind of different the whole thing. You know, during a very rare animation difference. You know, in the 1930s, late 1930s, it came out with the Wizard of Oz. The same year Wizard of Oz came out. You know, that's just me. You know, Madeline was. I have no idea what she was. You know, Madeline was probably the same as the other directions were E. Next page. Anyway. And brushed her teeth and went to bed. Now, about this mad lady at the time, these were all orphans, so to answer your question or anything, so there you go. Next page. Anyway, smile the good, even though they walk good. Anyway, and frown in the bad. Now, I've seen the 1998 movie in the early 2000s. It was great, so it's a 12-star movie, so there you go. Next page. Anyway, and sometimes they were very sad. It was a snowy day at the time. They left the house at 9:30 in 2 straight lines. Okay, good enough. And rain. Okay, or shine. Okay, makes sense in any way. The smallest one was Madeline. Okay, there she is. Anyway, Madeline was not afraid of mice. Now, it'll be more difference between mice and, well, come on, made Mickey Mouse difference. So there you go. Next page. She loved winter, snow, and ice. Yeah. At that time, yes, Madeline is just like no other. To the tiger in the zoo, Madeline just said poo poo. Now, it frightened the kids a little bit, like these girls. You know, it's too much. Madeline's just, you know, not freaking scared of the tiger. You know, just a little difference. You know, that's just me. Next page. Anyway. And nobody knew so well how to frighten Mrs. Carroll. Okay? Makes more sense. Anyway. In the middle of one night, Mrs. Carroll turned her light and said something's not right. You know, I felt worried for Mrs. Carroll at this point. You know, it doesn't seem right in the time for making this whole Madeline movie, 1998. I was only 5 or 6, or 6, 7, 8, you know. And when Madeline I first discovered this on VHS, you know, and it was like, wow, okay, makes sense. Same with the Madeline shows on Playhouse Disney at the time. So when Alice is the voice of Miss Croaky, Alice Beasley's like, Madeline coming up next here on Playhouse Disney. You know, I was just like, okay. When Lloyd in Space first went off the air on TV, when I recorded on TV, it was only there when it said Madeline is on Playhouse Disney at the time, but I was basically saying it. I'm like, wow, okay. Next page. Anyway, little Madeline sat in bed and cried and cried. Her eyes were red. Wow. And soon after Dr. Cole came, he rushed out of the phone. You know, she was homesick. I don't know what just happened. You know, I just don't know what to do next with the phones. You know, it's just too much with Madeline at the time. You know, it's kind of me of Shirley Temple. At the time, yes, Shirley Temple was in the movie in 1930s, you know? That's just me. Next page. Anyway, he dialed 10-6, okay? Nurse, he said, is it Alvin? Okay, whatever it was, sorry. Everyone had to cry. Nothing was dry. Mal was in his arms, okay? And the blanket safe and warm. Okay, makes more sense in any way. Felt worried for Madeline. Next page. In the car with his red light, they drove out in the night. Madeline woke up 2 hours later in the room with flowers. You know, it was just sad to me. Because I wanted her to be raised, not, say, be born, like, say, adopted. Not some being 2 straight lines and say Madeline is the most boring of all. You know, that's just me. Next page. Anyway, Madeline soon ate and drank, and on her own bed, there was a crank, you know, the crack of it sealing up her head, the habit. Sometimes looking at the rabbit. You know, on her way to things like that, you know, just something really rare to Madeline, you know. I just feel like that in the time where Madeline just like, oh my god, we're gonna do something like that. But, you know, it's just rare. Drama rabbit like that, you know, just seems like this in any way. Next page. Anyway, also with birds, trees, and sky, okay? So 10 days passed quickly by. One nice morning, Mrs. Crable said, isn't this a fine... Okay, Madeline just looked like this, happy faces, but... Okay, it makes more sense anyway. Miss Cabell, okay. And these birds chirping and feeding on the birds. Anyway, next page. Anyway, day to visit Madeline. Now, when this happened, it is one of the best books I've ever seen. You know, I really love Madeline, but as a kid, little baby, you know, Madeline Goes to the Zoo was the very first VHS I ever saw about Madeline. You know, that's just me. Next page, anyway. This is for 2 or 4 read a sign outside her door. Tiptoeing with some solemn face with some flowers in a vase. It all makes sense, so there you go, Madeline's side of things. And it's just so rare to me, because Madeline's just good enough between Madeline and the kid and the girls. So there you go. Next page. Anyway, in the wet walk and they say okay. When they saw toys and candy and dollhouse and Papa. But the biggest surprise by far, but from their stomach, was a scar. Wow. I didn't know this because they are like kids. And it's just like, yeez. Even though they wanted to do something between kids and things like that. Even though it's nice for Madeline and things like that. It's just pretty nice and nifty, you know. Next page. Goodbye, they said. We'll come again. And the little girls left in the rain. I have to agree, 100%. So, yeah. Even though it's good enough for Mrs. Caldwell thinks it's just too much, you know. That's just me. Next page. They went home and broke their bread, brushed their teeth, and went to bed. Without Madeline. 100%. In the middle of the night, Mrs. Cabell turned on the light and said something's not right and afraid a disaster is going to happen. I don't know what's going on. It's just freaking a disaster, you know. It's just too much. Now, what happened? Mrs. Cabell ran fast and faster. Jesus. Now, she said, please, children, do you tell me what's troubling you? When all the little girls cry boo-hoo, we have our bags out as well. Then go home. You have some adoption to do. Anyway. Next, in the last page of the book say, good night, little girls. Thank you, the Lord, you are well. And now go to sleep, said Mrs. Caldwell. She turned out the light, closed the door, and that's all there is. There's any more. Yeah. Here's a list of the votes who are may wish to invent about the Paris scenes that the late Bowman's has pictured in this book. On the cover and wanted to be illustration of Eiffel Tower, and this picture Lady P and the horse, the opera, okay? Gersmer chased a jewel thief across the place and malls, dome, heavy now say it. One soldier at the hotel desk in Valleys, okay? A rainy day in front of Notre Dame. Coming as a hotel back in Notre Dame. Anyway, a sunny day looking across the gardens of the warm bar, okay? Behind the little girl shaking his, the church, the scare, coffee. Wow. Okay. Men being birds in I can't pronounce that, sorry. The garden facing the Riviera. I can't pronounce any French words. Okay, next page. I mean, and that's the book. That's the only thing I can read about. But anyway, so there was only 3 more books about Madeline. There's Madeline Rescue, Madeline in London, and Madeline the Bad Hat. Jeez, we're gonna come wrong. So that was Madeline. What do I think about this book? It was just amazing. It's an amazing book to read. So far, this book was a success. That was Bedtime Stories, episode number 309. Hope you enjoy it. Stay tuned for the next one's gonna be. I'm not sure if it's a Dr. Seuss or a Barney book. I don't know. We'll just see what happens. Now, excuse me. I gotta have some dinner. Get ready to watch some Disney Plus, and then we're gonna get ready to go to bed. Till next time. So Joseph Bob's a favor. Go over his pursue. So say out. See ya.